Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas Paulsen. Today I would like to talk about the date filter on account schedules in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. I'm opening the list of account schedules and I would like to look at this account schedule and find out about the periods. So when I click Overview, I see in this account schedule 3 columns. The columns are called Current Period -1, and current period -2. What does this mean? When I look into the account, into the column layout setup, I can see 3 columns are defined: the current period -1, and current period -2. And we see here a comparison period formula of -1 period and -2 periods. So that should mean that in the report we should see periods prior to the current period. So again, when I look at the account schedule, the filter I have set, the date filter, is January 2021. The current period should then be January 2021. The current period -1 should be December 2020 and November 2020. How can I prove that? I can click into any of those numbers and drill down, and I see here the chart of accounts filtered to the account I'm reporting on, that is account 49950 total revenue, and I can see here I have set a date filter for the balance up to January 2021. The same when I click into the next column, I see I have a date filter set to December 31st, 2020, and in the current period -2 column, when I click into there, I see my date filter is for November 2020. Now, this is not very convenient that I do not have any visual indication which month it is that I'm looking at, especially if I go to Actions and Export to Excel. I can now see in Excel that I have my 3 columns and I have my date filter in cell B2, but now I do not have any more the ability to drill down into the source of my data, and I'm not very confident that these are the months of January, December and November that I'm looking at. So how can we make this better? I wrote a little software modification where I added the date filter to the column heading. So now in my column heading I can see that this is the month of January 21, December 20 and November 20. Also, when I export this to Excel, I can now see that in Excel I have again my date filter in column B3, and I have here in row 8 the indicator for the months of January, December and November. And a little bonus, every document must have a header, so I added an information tab to the Excel sheet that shows you who is the user that ran this report, when and with which filter settings. Now a word of caution, and that may actually be the reason why Microsoft is not giving you the date filter here in the column heading. When we look at the definition of the account schedule, we see that each row can have a different row type. So here we have balance at date and net change. And you may have noticed that the total revenue here is defined as balance at date. And you may say, no, I want to see the net change for my total revenue. And when I do that and click on the overview, I see that my date filter is given as a range, not as an end date, and that is because I wrote the modification so that it looks into the first row to determine which filter to display here in the header. So if you want to control this display, you can use a little trick and go back into the definition of the account schedule and simply add a new line, leave everything blank and just change the row type to what you desire, in this case balance at date. And if you now look at the overview, I have the display and the filter I want, just the end date, but the total revenue, the first line in my report, is still showing the net change here filtered on the date range. Thank you for watching, and you can contact me on paulsonconsult.com.